Afternoon, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Today we're going to be doing some art journaling. So what I'm in my Dina Wakley media journal. So I am just going to hang on for a few minutes and wait for some more people to join, and then we will get started. Okay, so whilst we're waiting for a few people to join, I am just going to get on my phone so I can see the comments and what have you. I'll put my phone on silent. Marvellous. Right, so here we go. Hi, Stacey. Right, so I've got my comments. Right, so if we're going to be doing, like I say, we're going to be doing some art journaling today in our Dina Wakley media journal. I've got some new collage papers that I want to play with, and I'm going to use some other stuff as well. So, yeah. If there's anything in particular you would like to see, or you would like to see me do, please let me know. You know, anything you've got questions about, that's why we're here. You know, that's why crafting together all brands is a thing. So that we can, you know, use our products and have fun with them and all that sort of thing. Can't find the live on my thing because it's gone. Right, give me a minute. And I will be right with you. Right with you. Here we go. Alrighty, there we go. I mean, my desk is such a tip, I actually don't know where I'm going to balance my phone now. But you know, you can't have it all, can you? Hi Rosie, hi Shireen. Right. We'll just wait for a couple more and then we'll get started. Are we all having a good week? Or at least, you know, a week that we feel like we're surviving alright? Because at the minute, that is enough, my lovely dudes. It really is. Hi Kaylee, hi Linda. Right. Yeah, I am going to be using probably some of these today. I made these on my live last night on my group, my page, and we were doing some shaving foam techniques, so I'm going to be using some of those as well. Righty ho. So let's have a look. Right. So for anybody new to art journaling, new to Be Crafty, new to me, which is totally understandable, this is my Dina Wakley media journal. Okay, it's something that, in fairness, I've only really got into. I used to do art journaling on a certain level, but it wasn't very good, truth be told. And I've started doing more this year, and it's sort of changed how I'm doing it. I'm now collaging stuff in more and whatever. So that's the nice thing about your art journaling. You can sort of develop it. But the media journal I'm working in today, so this is by Dina Wakley. And what's fantastic about your media journal is if you are wanting to have a go, it may be trying some different surfaces, some different things to work on. You know, your journal is a really, really good way to do that. It's a really, really good way to do that because it has the different surfaces in it. So your Dina Wakley media journal, it has this sort of cotton effect paper. Now if you look at it on the, so across the journal you'll find the front and backs of different things, okay? So this is the cotton cardstock, and if you look at it, it's really textured, it's very natural in how it feels, but one side is more textured than the others, but it is really hyper absorbent. So if you do want to do certain things on it, I would put a gesso layer on there. I say that, I never have because I'm not patient enough, but obviously if you want to and get the best out of it, you know, that's definitely good. So then we have our burlap here, which I did my first page here in Crafting Together All Brands, so we'll get to that in a minute. And then we have sort of linen fabric to do stuff on, and then we have our craft card, which is what we're going to be working on today. We're going to work on some of the craft card because I haven't yet, so it'll be my first one. So just to take you through, so for example, at the start, so this was my first page, I think. At the start, I really did sort of stick to the white pages. I think it was almost like a stick to what you know so you don't panic and ruin your book, which is silly because your journal's a really, really good place to practice technique, do some new things, try out some new ideas, try out some new products, and see how they go. Okay, so this was my first burlap page, which I'm really, really happy with. I absolutely love it. Well, it's actually my second burlap page, but because before I did my live, I did this page here, because I wanted to make sure that any ideas I had would actually work. So I did this before my live because I was planning to use the burlap page, and then I did this one in it. So you can see I cut down the sides, did an acetate wrap and a few other things. So it, you know, it is a fantastic surface to work on. It's really, really good fun. Okay. So yeah. So if we just carry on through here, this is a linen page double spread. So it's got a linen here and a white cotton here. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep it double or cut one of these out. But either way, it does need to progress slightly because I come back and splash some other colours on and then I leave it again. And then I go away. This was, again, I'm sure I did it on the Crafting Together group. It was just a card panel I did using the grey Ecoline set colour in. This is my light bulb circuit stamp. And I just coloured it in just using greys. And I was so happy with it, I actually didn't want to do anything else to it. So I have just literally just stuck it into one of the white cotton pages, and I'm going to leave it like that because I like it like that and I don't want to do anything to it. And that's the thing, if you don't want to do anything more to it, you don't have to. And that's the cool thing about art journaling. You can go to town and do as much as you like, or you can just really knock it back. And I also thought if I stuck it on one of the white pages, it would stop me keep referring to it, because I need to use up the white pages to stop me using them. This is a page I did using sort of ombre technique with Dilutions paint, and a few other bits. So I've done that one. And then that one was using the Dina Wakley metallic paints. But again, on a white one. So you can see I did really lean on the white. Can everyone else hear me? I did really lean on the white pages to start with. Jeanette can't hear me. Can everybody else hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. So I did really lean on the white ones to begin with. So, you know, I think it's a perfectly natural thing when you first get your journal to go with what you know, go to what you feel secure with, which is what I did with the white pages. So today I want to go to a craft page because the craft cardstock's really, really cool. And, you know, and using your distress and stuff on there, you can get some really groovy effects. Now, the page does keep pinging up. So what I'm going to do is I've got these sort of magnetic bulldog clips that I'm just going to put in the corner. You can hear me. Fantastic. And that's just to weigh it down whilst I do things. Marvellous. Now, in fairness, Dina does some really cool things where she cuts sections out of her pages. But like I said, I think my problem is I don't think far enough ahead for that at the minute. But hopefully I will get there at some stage. Excellent. Right, so yeah, so we're going to be working on here. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do first of all is, because I want to use one of these prints that I made last night using the shaving foam technique and Dilutions ink sprays. Okay, so I want to use one of those. And also, I got myself yesterday some new Dina Wakley collage paper. And there are some really beautiful faces in here as well. This is something I want to get to be able to do myself, the faces, but I'm just not there yet. So, you know, and this is something I have actually spoken to Dina about the faces. But for example, on the faces you do get them in white as well, so you could layer that over your craft and you'll see the white outline face as well. And she just keeps telling me just to relax and get on with it, basically. But that's easier said than done. She knows she can do it. So there is some smaller ones, so I haven't decided if I'm going to use a smaller one or a bigger one or anything as yet. And they're just words as well, because these are just absolutely beautiful. And I really, really love them. So, Right, so we're going to be using all of these to sort of put together something on our craft page. Alrighty. So, first of all, we're going to take... So, with our... See, it would be so easy just to go straight onto white there, wouldn't it? I mean, it looks so good. But and I still could with a different colour print. But I think I'm going to go with this one. Now, this was my first pull off the shaving foam. Okay, and then I've got some paler ones. And then I did some more going through templates. You can sort of see where the template was sat here. You know, you can see like the circles on the template. And it just gave a sort of different effect. And I think I couldn't decide this afternoon whether to go with this one or this one. So I think I'm going to go with this one. But who knows? That could all change. Alright, and I'm sort of going to off-centre it. Which I have to say, the ex-scrapbooker in me would have been horrified with. Because I always used to keep things centre and symmetrical. And all that sort of malarkey. Now what I am going to do as well is, because I'm going to use some sprays, so I am just going to tuck a piece of spare cardstock down there. I could put my blending mat there as well, to be fair. But this way, if I get any overspray, I get a funky new start on a piece of cardstock. So, you know, it's all good. I'm just not quite there yet, Shereen. I am practicing though, and they are getting better, my faces. I just don't think they're good enough for, shall we say, mass production as yet. So like I say, Dina Wakley tells me to get over myself and what have you, which is fine. She's right. But, you know, in the head just won't shush. It just won't shush. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to put some colour on here. Now on the three colours I was using of my Dilutions ink spray were the Bubblegum Pink, the Lemon Zest and the Blue Lagoon. Now if I were, for example, to put these straight on, let's do it, okay? Move that out of the way. So if I were to put these straight on to my craft card, as they are, you would see them, but they won't really create the same sort of impact as that. Okay? So, I mean, they're fine absolutely being on there. It's not an issue or anything. They don't leak through, which is great. But they're not going to create that sort of effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some stamping on here with Distress Oxide and things like that, because they are slightly more opaque. And I do apologise, I'm back on my white heat gun because I was trying to get organised, because I'm back on... I'm not allowed to say, am I? I'm back on Telly next week. So I thought, oh, I'll get ahead and start packing my bag. And it's like, well, yeah, but you've put away your good heat gun. But in fairness, this one does work, so it's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're just going to waft this over. I mean, you could just leave this to dry. It's no big problem or anything, but obviously I don't have that time because I'm here talking to you. Alrighty. I mean, that is a testament to the cardstock, so obviously that bit is quite wet, but it hasn't come through, so that is pretty cool. Right, so what I'm going to do, let me just put that back up. It just helps hold it down a little bit. So I'm going to rotate my book. And although obviously it's portrait, I'm going to work in landscape just to make my life easier. I need another clip. I'm going to take the clip from this side because I don't need it if I'm working this way. Okay, and I'll take that out of the way because I'm not going to do any more spraying. And I'm going to work with my texture borders, my texture circles, and my stitch borders. And I'm also going to get my texture discs. I can find where I put them. There's one. It's one of those things, I know I complain a lot about the mess in my craft room, but it does have varying degrees. You know, sometimes I go, oh, it's a bit messy, and that's because I've got it messy just after I've tidied it. Today when I say it's a bit messy, it's because it's really messy. It's like really messy. And I've just tipped an MDF pop-outs bag upside down. I mean, really. My texture disc folder is going to miss. So I'll be using these two texture discs today. And maybe some text off my coffee stain and script inkable. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some blending brushes. And I'm going to use the fossilised amber. No, I'm not. I've changed my mind already. I'm going to use mustard seed, picked raspberry, and the Mermaid Lagoon. Okay, so just because I think those three colours work really well with the colours that are on this sheet. So this is the thing as well. If you're struggling for Crafty Mojo and you've got some prints or some tags that you've started, of which I always have an abundance, and whatever, grab one and use that as your starting point. Even if you're not going to layer up, for example, like this bit onto this bit of card, even if you're not going to do that, use it as your starting point. And then, you know, you've got somewhere to go, haven't you? Fabulous. Right, so first things first, we're going to use this one here. I'm going to take some picked raspberry. I'm going to work through onto our surface. So I can't remember which texture disc sets these ones are out of. I'm sorry, because, you know, I don't know where my texture disc thingy is. I'll put that there. And that one there. But I really love this one. I just think it's a really cool pattern that you can use for more masculine themed things or not. I'm actually going to put another bit just there. We might do a little bit more flicking with the inks later once we've stuck some of our collage paper down. Okay. I'll take that off. I haven't put my pinny on. And if I haven't put my pinny on, I should really have painty pants like Lynette has. Right. So then on to our Mermaid Lagoon. In fact, no, I'm going to leave my Mermaid Lagoon till last in case I haven't got all the colour off my brush properly. So, then with our mustard seed, I'm going to add a little bit more, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz it. Put the negative on there. Oh, that's pretty cool. Just going to quickly dry that. Okay, and then actually I don't want to waste that ink, so I'm just going to put that on there, make sure we haven't lost anything, and then with our Mermaid Lagoon, I'll do a little bit on there. And then back to this one. It's all about building up layers. That's all it is. Just to create that sort of pattern. And in fairness, if you get to the stage where you're really happy with the pattern you're using, so you're not really sure if you're ready to stick anything over the top yet, that's absolutely fine. Don't. Move on to another one and do it that way. You know what I mean? You don't have to. It's absolutely fine. Right. So, and then from here we're going to go in. Now this is one of my favourite border stamps from our Texture Borders. So I'm just going to ink again on here with our Mermaid Lagoon. I'm going to stamp down. I am going to do some stamping in black as well, and I'm going to use my Versified Claire. Oh, that's beautiful. And then put that one there, that one there, that one there. Now, the cool thing about, and in fairness, this is one of the things that Lou Sims put me onto, which is really cool about the Super Skinny Slims. If you're doing border stamping in your journal and you want to get, for example, really close to the edge, right, all you need to do is put it on, because these are skinny, you put it close to the edge on your Super Skinny Slim. You ink it up. And then you can get right in to the edge of your page. You can put it on there like that, which is really cool, isn't it? So, put that one there. So this one's on the texture borders as well. Okay, and then I think we need to add something stitchy. So I'm going to go with this one, which is just a really light. Now these are, let me see if I can find the backing card for these. These I did because I love the effect of sewing elements onto card, like when people use their sewing machine to sew onto cards and stuff like that. But sewing machines hate me. They absolutely despise me, not to mention it's really difficult to do in a journal. But yeah, sewing machines, things that stitch, they hate me with an absolute passion. So, you know, I return that favour. So I did stamps instead. And I first used them as part of our, where we do the big collage stamps, is like part and parcel of that. But my mum was like, well, that's no use to me because I want to be able to use the borders individually. So, you know, I'm a good girl and did what my mum told me and got her the individual elements instead. Because, you know, I'm nice like that. Right, so I'm going to get this one as well. Now this one's pretty cool because it's got some really open stitching, like it's gone totally wrong, which I like for obvious reasons. So we're going to go across there. So then you've got this sort of open stitch, which I'm going to come in there as well. Okay, so it just sort of gives you that little bit of a look. And what I wanted to do today as well is I wanted to use some bright colours, because I think it can be really easy when you're working on craft card. Well, I think it's really easy when you're working on craft work card to stick to sepia tones, you know, tones that you know are going to work well with that lovely natural brown. So that's why I thought, no, we'll do some brighter colours. And I'm actually really chuffed with it. I think it looks really, really nice. So you, Sam, and your mum are all crafters. Yeah, but Mum is actually the matriarch of Be Crafty. She's the original Queen Bee. See, people think it's me because they think the Be Crafty is the Bev, but it's not. So yeah, Mum is the matriarch of Be Crafty. Nothing gets approved without her say so. So right, now I'm going on to the circles, the texture circles. We're going to use a few of these in different areas. Yeah, so that's absolutely right, Rosie. My dad makes the inkable stencils and all of our MDF products. He doesn't make the stamps, Rosie, but no, he makes all the inkables and all the MDF products as well. So he's a handy fella to have, I can't lie. Right, I'm just working out now. I'm just looking at it, thinking about what I want to do. I'm now worried this piece is a bit too big, so I might trim some of it down. Or will it be better just in the middle? Right, to the side or in the middle? I very rarely ask because, not because I don't care, but because it can take so long to come through, so I am just going to pause. So to the side, in the middle, or chop down a bit. Because I really can't decide. Middle, yeah, Kim, I think the middle. I think the middle. Cut it into bits, but I'm looking for a thing with the face. Because I'm going to put the face on over the top. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's quite exciting, really, because like I've said before, we only get to do. I think it's too right. So shall we cut it down a little bit and then make a decision from there? So right, we'll go to that one. Yeah, I don't. As daft as it sounds, I don't get to craft as much as I'd like. I don't think any of us do, really. But yeah, I don't get to craft as much as I'd like. You know, because there's other stuff that has to be done. Yes, now then. But now I've got samples to make all over the weekend, so now I have to craft for the next week, you know, because I have to. This tape's awful. So yeah, I have to craft for the next week because it's my job. Right, so from here we're going to use, Dominique, that's one of those things, you will end up hiding stuff if you collage on your journal, but that's okay. It's absolutely fine. It's all right. Don't panic. Right, so from here I'm going to use some of my grit paste, my Tim Holtz grit paste. Now, what I love about the grit paste is it's really light. It's not, so you don't have to like dig into it. Okay, it's more of a light mousse that you can just sort of lift, which is lovely. So I'm going to take quite a bit because I'm going to basically just go until it's all used up. I'm going to put a bit there. Put a bit there. Where's that texture disc? I think we need some of that. Over there. Okay. So that's going to go on there. I'm going to get some of my Dylusions white linen. Okay. If you haven't used the Dylusions white linen before, it's not like your other Dylusions ink sprays. You have to treat it more like one of the shimmer sprays, so it lives on its side. You swill it, shake it, not shake it to wake it. Swill it to mix it. And that just gets all of the white sediment that's needed for your white ink. Okay, and we're just gonna ink splash quite a bit of that, I think, all over here. Alright, now the grit paste doesn't take long to dry, but we are good, so we're just letting it start off for itself, and then we're going to use the heat tool. And then I'm going to get some of the bubblegum pink. I'm going to do the same. Use that over that grit paste. And then some of the lemon zest. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Alright. So now I'm just going to heat this with my heat tool. Now it's one of those things I'm now umming should I have done the collage paper before I did my grit paste, but it's one of those, it depends on the look you're going for. So I'm just going to start it with the heat tool, and then we will, while it's finishing drying, we will select our collage papers to go over the top. Okay? Hi, Rooney! Okay, and the cool thing is, by cutting it down, I now have these two wicked bits I could use to do a not matching, but almost coordinating one over here. I probably won't. I'll forget about them. And look at that. I mean, I know I'm not pressing it, but I'm touching it, and it's already starting to dry. So I'm hopeful that the letters, because they're finer, and that's the thing, Vanda, you know, just putting in those splashes of colour. And this is the thing. I've been talking to quite a few people about their art journaling of late. And lots of people are very much, oh, I get to a certain stage and I don't like it. And, you know, I'm not really sure. Joe, I was going to use a big face, but I think I'm going to use a little one. So I think that is just, you know, I'm going to use a little one. And in all honesty, and this is absolutely true, I can't tell you how true it is, it's just very, very, very true. Okay? With my art journaling, I honestly do keep going until I like it. Okay? Just, if you don't like it, you haven't finished. Keep going. Just keep going. Okay. So, get a paintbrush. I just don't stop until I like it. That's that simple. How do you know when it's finished? Because if I still hate it, it's not done yet. Basically. Oh, I love her quite a lot. She's rather fab, isn't she? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yay. So, from here, I'm going to use... Right, this is getting rather sad now. My Collage Medium. So, I'm going to go... on the back of here with my Collage Medium, because when I go straight onto my page I have a tendency to put it on the wrong place, which is also why I tend to use matte medium and not the glossy. Okay, so I'm just going to put this into here. Now in this, we are now at a personal preference phase of whether you want to stick it so it's completely flat and none of these bits stick up. She's a little bit skew-if and that will drive me mental. You know, whether you want to stick all these bits down so you have no fluffy edges sticking up, or whether you want to have a few bits sticking up because it's texture. It's really a up to sort of deal. See, I don't mind little bits sticking up, but I want it to go right into so you can have the texture of the grit paste that we've put behind down there. So I absolutely... Oh, I don't still hate it. No, sorry, I don't still hate it. I don't hate this one. I'm just saying, you know, I don't hate this one. This one's going actually quite well. But, you know, a lot of times, you know, if it reaches that crisis point where it's like, I'm not sure this is going to ever get to how I want it to look, just keep going. Honestly, it's absolutely fine. So, I'm gonna swirl my brush in, because so I can pick up all that texture from the script inkable where we put the grit paste through. Okay, and also I've got some words. Okay. Time. No. I actually love all of these, and I actually think all of them will work. And that's my problem. Dominique, no. PVA is a polyvinyl, right? So it's a plastic. So you'll always get a shine to it. It will always be shiny. Okay, whereas my matte medium, it's matte. Okay, so it dries and it's matte and there's no shine. You can get a glossy one, but also it's much thicker, it's much weightier. So your collage medium you can actually use to stick embellishments down. You can use it to, you know, it's just much weightier. Now, am I saying you cannot use PVA? Of course I'm not. Especially if it's your journal, you can use whatever you like. Okay? But the effect won't necessarily be the same. Okay? And that's all I'm trying to... say. So you can use PVA, but you will not get the same sort of finish, basically, is the way I would put it. Right. So I'm going to try and scrape off whatever collage medium is left on my brush, because the bigger tubs haven't come. Right. So, you will turn out ordinary if you're not careful. Now, let's face it, that is not going to happen with me. It's like someone saying you're normal. Ugh. How gross. Hi Trisha, this is the Dina Wakley collage paper. It is available on the Be Crafty website. If Sam is still here, I'll get her to do you a link, because there's different packs and whatever. Like I say, it's hopefully Sam, you can. I have checked with the other admins. You are allowed to do a link if you want to. So I have. It's something we have looked into getting our own done, but like I say, it's the faces. I want to do my own faces, and I've spoken to Dina Wakley about it, because I don't like mine at the minute. And now she's told me to get over myself and just crack on, but I want to be confident in what I'm bringing. So when I'm better at the faces, we will be doing our own version of Collage Media paper. But at the minute, I do like to use the Dina Wakley, and they are on the link. They are on the Be Crafty website, which Sam is going to get you a link for right about now. Okay, so I'm nearly done. I just want to add a few more black border things down here, because I just feel, I don't know, I feel like this is a gap and it needs something in it. And with the black there and there, I just think putting some there will create a really nice balance. So I think what I'm going to do is go for the Rick Rack. Now this again is on my texture border stamps. Now this is an exceedingly abused set of stamps that I have. I use them for everything because it's just a great set of borders, really. That's all I have. And I think it works with the stitchy ones really well. So I'm going to use the Rick Rack, and then I might add a tape measure from my stitchy borders set as well. So I'm going to use my VersaFine Claire. Add this one, and I'm going to try and stamp over the edge so it's a bit on and a bit off. Fantastic. Okay, and then I'm going to use the tape measure. I'm going to use all of it. So I'm going to go right up here. I'm going to stamp down. So use the flex in your Super Skinny Slim just to make sure you can get in. And that's absolutely fab. So I'm just going to give that a quick heat set because I've used the VersaFine Clair, which is a pigment ink pad. So it's a little bit wetter. So I just want to dry it to make sure I don't put my hand in it and smudge it. Because that's what I'm liable for. Isn't it? This is what I do. Okay. And then with my white Posca, I have to get me a new one. I actually completely finished a white Posca pen. Now, me finishing a white pen isn't exactly news, but I have been known to wreck the tips or break them before even having to get a chance to finish them. But on this occasion, I actually totally finished it. Okay. So, there. So I'm just going to run around the outside with my white pen. Sort of loosely drawing in sort of like a frame. And the whole point is I'm not trying to do a straight line because let's face it, if I did a straight line around this page, it would look weird because nothing else is a straight line. But the thing is you can do several if you want. You could do, for example, I wouldn't do 2 because that's just odd. So if you're doing more than 1, then you have to go for 3. And then you've got your page here, and you can add in like little sort of highlighted bits if you want. Like I say, once I get better with me faces, I'll have some of my own. But yeah, so it's just a case. Smudgy, smudge, smudge it. Yeah. So, you know, the whole point with your journal is to get some of your favourite products out, use something you've made as a leaping off point, okay, and work around it that way to use and create your art journal page, okay. If you haven't got a journal at the minute, or you make your own using leftover bits of craft card as well, obviously collaging is a really good way because you might not have the best surfaces to put inks and stuff on. So, you know, you can do that too, which is absolutely great. So, I hope you found that useful, and I hope you enjoyed it. I absolutely did. It was very, very good fun. I can't believe the time. I honestly can't believe the time that I've managed to do a complete journal page in 43 minutes. Well, it's not even that, because I didn't start straight away, did I? So, look, that grit paste is totally dry. Okay, so if you have any questions you want to ask me while I'm just sat here, I'll linger for a couple of minutes, and we'll wait and see if you have any questions or anything else you want me to do. I'm so pleased with it, I can't even tell you. But again, if you wanted to go in with your, because you've used the matte medium, whatever, if you wanted to go in with your Dilutions inks or your Eco lines even, and whatever, and colour this in, you absolutely could do that. Which is ace, isn't it? You know. Which is absolutely ace. I think, I am loitering with intent, Shireen. I think the thing is as well, the craft pages, I think it was one of those, I felt like it should be obvious what I was going to do with it. But I still hadn't. So this is my very first craft page. Alright? So if you haven't had a go with your craft card, or, like I say, you make your own books, but you don't put craft card in them, have a go. Because it's absolutely beautiful. It's really, really good fun. And get all your texture and everything stamps out as well. Alrighty, it seems like you just want to go off and do some journaling, which I don't blame you for. Right, I'm sure we do have another demo in here at Crafting Together All Brands later on this evening, so you can go and do some journaling before then. If you need any help in the meantime, please don't hesitate to get in touch. If you don't want to message anyone directly, please put something on the wall. Can anyone help me with such and such? You know, I've made this card. Because this is all transferable to cards, scrapbook pages as well, because obviously you can put photo in there and whatever. If you've got any questions at all with your crafting, or you just want to say, what's everybody having for tea? That's Sam's favourite question. Go in, take part, be part of the group, and start a conversation on the wall. And remember, if you see anybody's work that you like, give them a quick like, or even better, a comment, because you might just make someone's day. Alright then guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you next week. Bye!